and welcome to episode 173 of The Joy of Coding. My name's Mike Conley. We're going to be hacking on some Firefox stuff today, going to be writing some tests for Pictureinpicture, kind of a continuation of things we were doing last week. So glad that you're here. Let's get started. No delays. Let's just do this. So hang on, let me transition to my screen. Here's today's agenda. A reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I do hope to write some tests today. Last week, for example, I got bogged down trying to do some hackery to get dimensions from a CSS style sheet. I've changed the implementation of the toggle so that that's not necessary anymore, so I bypassed that problem. But I mean, I got completely sidelined last week with that, and that could happen again. We might get sidelined with something, and that's okay. None of the tests I want to write today have been pre-written. I haven't got a plan of things I want to write. In fact, that's hopefully one of the things that we'll do during this stream is we'll look at the various things we want to test and try and come up with some good test cases. Before we continue, I want to point out that the agenda that we're looking at, this sort of document, is a living document that you can have access to. If you're watching this on AirMozilla, check out the handout section right over here. And if you're watching YouTube, check out the video description down here. And if you're watching this on Twitch, then I'm about to drop the agenda into the Twitch chat. Here it is, the agenda. Boom. And the agenda will allow you to click on things, click on the links in here. And if I update the agenda and this little spinny wheel up here spins, then if you reload the page, you'll get the updates. You should get the updates. So let's get started. What do I want to do? Well, I want to write tests for the picture-in-picture toggle. And since we last chatted, since we last saw one another, the underlying implementation of the picture-in-picture toggle has changed quite a bit. And I've made it more, I think, resilient and less glitchy. Let's take a look. So the toggle is now bound to the video element. So, I mean, it still appears in the corner as before. And it works for videos with controls and without controls. And I can click on it and I can bring up little, big buck bunny here, and that works fine. But it also works for videos where there's like, what was the testing video we were using last week? It's this like hyper reality video. So this is the old one, the one we're looking at right now. This is like the old toggle that flies out, and it does work, the old toggle. But one of the problems with the old toggle is that on certain sites, the toggle itself would drift. Not actually on Vimeo though, so maybe this is a bad example. Let me show you that it works though in the new implementation. So I've switched to the browser where I've re-implemented the toggle. Whoops, I'm gonna turn the volume down there. And yeah, the toggle works here as well, even though there is a transparent overlay on top, so we still get the toggle. Now, sites where the toggle used to kind of be glitchy, I think maybe I demonstrated this last week. So I switched back to nightly, where the old version of the toggle is available but disabled by default. And we can go to a video. Let's actually go to my Twitch page where you can. We're gonna watch me hack on this stuff. Now, notice that the toggle drifts with the page. Like if I have the toggle there and I scroll, it detaches itself and scrolls with the page and not the video. So that's the problem, or that is a problem. And I think the new implementation solves it. So let me switch back to the browser where I have the new implementation. We'll go here, mute the video, and notice now that it's like attached to the video. And it also works if I click on it here. It will show up and I can click, no problem. And it also works whenever the video is in this tiny little, like Twitch's little picture-in-picture overlay. Even though they put this like dark thing over top, you can still see the toggle there, and if I click on it, I get the access to the picture-in-picture window. So those all work. And what about, I think, did we try YouTube already? YouTube, The Lion King. We're gonna pull up the Lion King trailer. I'm gonna just mute that, and yeah, I can pull that out. Please don't sue me, Disney, for showing this on my stream. I can pull that out, no problem. And so that's working. Now there are a couple things that still don't work. One of the examples that that was requested last week was trailers.apple.com. And this one doesn't work, and I don't know why yet. Let's pull up this movie trailer here, and like the toggle does not appear here, and I figured out why. It's the underlying video element. If we get to it, if we look for video, the video element here, the underlying video element has pointer events none, that CSS style associated with it. And if I turn that off, then everything works as you'd expect. I can do that. So I have to find a way to make the implementation ignore the pointer events none case, but we can save that for a later bug. I just want to do like a preliminary set of tests. So I've already got some tests, and I wanted to show you the tests that I've got. Right now I've got, so how did I do it? Maybe it'd be easier if I close some of these files. There's so many files open. I don't need that anymore. Don't need that. Don't need that. Or this. Or this looks like it was opened by accident. I'm just gonna close everything. Get rid of that. I'm just gonna close it all. I'm gonna start blank, start fresh. I'm gonna keep that one. This was like on Vimeo, moving video label doesn't come back. Hide the toggle. After toggling it's back. Animating opacity on the toggle. Yeah. Okay, so that all more or less, I've got those in my head. What did I want to demonstrate though? Or what did I want to show you? I wanted to show you the tests that I had written. So let's do that real quick. First of all, I've written this like little, tiny little utility function called test toggle. And test toggle, I'm going to document it, but what it does, I'll kind of explain here what it's trying to do. Oh, Ocris asks, is there a context menu if you right-click on the picture-in-picture surface? It depends. So if right now, if you were to click on a video in picture-in-picture, like the site offers up, these are the default context menu items if we're looking at a video, if we are context menu clicking a video. But if a site is putting something over top, like here, this hyper reality video, I'm gonna turn that down. If I right click on that, I don't get the context menu for video elements. I get just the context menu for normal web elements or normal context menu, normal content context menu. And whenever you have the picture-in-picture message here, it's the same. You're gonna get the same thing. And I accidentally clicked back there, but you get the idea. That answers that question. Moving along then, how does this work? The test helper function opens a new tab and loads. Well, first of all, the test function takes two arguments, a URL and then a set of expectations. And then what we do is we open a new tab at that URL, we wait for it to load, and then the expectations, right now the expectations, what they look like is, I'll show you an example. You pass it like a videos property in that object, and then you tell it, give it the IDs of videos on the page and whether or not they should be able to toggle picture-in-picture. And so here's how that works. We get the video IDs, and then we make sure that each video on the page with those IDs are actually ready to play. We make sure that they've fired their can play events. And then we For each video ID that was passed in, we make sure that each one is scrolled into view so that it's visible. We also make sure that Picture-in-Picture child is actually tracking the video because it's a little bit lazy, and so we have to do this like polling to make sure that it's being tracked, and I had to like expose a special testing API for it. And then we also get the rectangle for the toggle. We get the client rect for it. And then if we're expecting that we're able to both view and click the toggle, then what we do is we synthesize the mouse over the video and we wait for the toggle to reach a certain level. And I actually toggle for video opacity. I'm gonna rename this. Toggle opacity reaches. I'm just gonna call that toggle for opacity reaches, or maybe not reaches. Toggle opacity reaches threshold. That's probably clear. So what I do is I move the mouse over the video and then I wait for the toggle opacity to reach a certain threshold, and once it's done that, then I calculate the center of the toggle and I move the mouse to there, and I wait until the toggle reaches its full opacity, and then I click on that point, the X and the Y of the center, and I wait for the Picture-in-Picture window to open, and when it does, I close it. And if the Picture-in-Picture toggle is not expected to be available, then I just I calculate where the toggle would be and I click on it to make sure that a Picture-in-Picture window does not open, because that should not happen. So that's how the framework works. And the first page that I load is this very simple test page that has just a simple video with controls and without controls, and that works. And so the next test that I did was this one, which has 4 different videos. They're actually the same video, but the way that they're different from one another is that some of them have transparencies over top of them. The first one has a full-blown background color transparent on it. The next one has a background color with using RGBA with an alpha channel of 0.5 so that it's sort of half transparent red over top. And then one that has a layer that is entirely opaque, entirely transparent, and then one that's half transparent. And for each of these, we expect the toggle to work. Now I'm going to add another one where we don't expect full opacity. We don't expect this to work. This is a fully opaque overlay using opacity 1.0. And this one, I expect this one to not be able to trigger Picture-in-Picture. So I'm going to go back to the test that launches this, and I'm going to say false. Now, this is my first time reaching this branch. I haven't actually written one yet that enters this branch, so this is going to be a good test to see whether or not the test framework will actually work for us. So let's run the test. So it loads up all these videos and it goes through, and we failed. We failed one. Center is not defined, right, because I rely on center, and center was not defined because I need it in both branches. So I'm actually going to calculate it here. Okay, and let's run it again. And if you watch carefully the test, what it's doing is it's like scrolling the videos into view, and it's doing these synthetic mouse hovers. Cool, so that worked. Except that, hold on, did it work? Because I feel like we missed a step here. This full opacity is not even a class. Full opacity. I say background color green. So that really stands out. And it all passed anyways, which to me says that there's something wrong. Like, why would it have passed before. If we weren't expecting the... So that passed as well. So I want to understand why it passed before. So I'm going to comment that out. Why would it have passed before? Maybe it's because we're not waiting long enough. Like what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try and force this test to fail by waiting for a couple of seconds. Await new promise, resolve. And I'm not gonna ship this, but I am going to, I just want to test this particular branch of the test. So that's still passed, even after waiting. Why is that? Overlay. Video full opacity. I'm gonna get rid of the rest of these. Actually, these are very inconvenient, these can toggles, because I can't disable individual tests. I thought I was being like very clear on what they do. Maybe I can like make them clearer, but for now I'm just gonna get rid of those. I'm just gonna do that. Also, I'm just gonna get rid of, for consistency, I'll get rid of them here for now. Okay. So we expect this to fail, or I expect this to fail. No picture-in-picture window found. So removing video tracking, clicking on toggle and expecting no picture-in-picture window. Testing with video full opacity. Well, let's do a manual test. Let's because we should be toggling, like picture-in-picture should be possible here. Yep. So that's good. So then this entire synthesize mouse add point at the center of the toggle is not actually working. It's because we have to hover our mouse over the mouse over video. Why would we need to? Oh. So clicking on toggle. Why is clicking on the toggle not hang on a second, hang on a second. Is it not causing the picture-in-picture window to open? Like I expect a picture-in-picture window to open here. Let's go back to the good case. This should cause it to open. Yeah. Although it seems to not wait long enough. Window type, window. Wait till, let's wait. Await new promise. Resolve. Set timeout. Let's make sure one's actually opening. Yeah, it's opening. Okay. So then how come this one doesn't cause it to open? Do I need to hover the mouse over the video and then hover the mouse over the toggle? If so, that's kind of wacky, but well, it's still passed. No picture-in-picture window found. Tracking mouse move now. It's putting mouse there. Saw mouse move. Click on toggle. Expecting no picture-in-picture window opens. All right, well, let's, once again, I'm just gonna make sure by waiting a couple seconds. Yeah, why isn't it working? What's the difference? Is it the waiting for the opacities? What's going on? Oh, there's some chatter in live hacking. Aha, that's where it is. Smurfd's like, how does it work when doing it manually? Do you need to hover the mouse over the picture and over the toggle? Maybe whether something is clickable doesn't depend on opacity. It seems like it does. This might be like a waiting for toggle to become. So right, we found a picture. So let's remove that sleep. Good, so we're failing there. So it looks like we need to wait for these things. I'll bet you it has to do with like it's like a clickjacking protection. We want to make sure that the user doesn't click on something transparent that they can't see. So in order for the click event to actually be registered by something, it needs to be opaque. And so this is what waits until something is opaque. So let us refactor, because there's a lot of repetition here. Okay, so we're gonna hover the mouse over the video to reveal. Oh. to reveal the toggle. Must wait for the opacity to reach 1. To reach hover toggle opacity. Or, I guess you don't need that comment. And then if expects toggle, then we'll do this. Otherwise, we will do this. Cool, so that fails. That's nice. That's what we wanted. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to actually put the full opacity class, make that available. And so this should now pass because we expect it to. Yes, okay, so that passes, and now we'll put the other ones back. Great. Let's put something else over where it's not just. Let's add one more case where it's not over the entire. The overlay isn't over the entire video. Toggle overlay, full opacity. Video toggle. Full opacity over toggle. That's what I'll call it. So this should also not cause the picture-in-picture window to open. And toggle overlay, the way we're going to make this work is position absolute. We're going to say that it's width, let's say 150 pixels from the right, and the height is 100%. And let's see what that looks like. This is a fully opaque overlay over a region covering the toggle at opacity 1.0. All right, let's see what that looks like. Cool. Akris is like, can you also check with :true on these? Sure, let's try and make them fail. So we'll put true on these, and we'll see if it fails. A boop, 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 boop. Aha, failure because the opacity, or we're waiting for the window to open and it's just never going to open, so we're going to time out. So good, that's your failure right there. Hooray! That's working as expected. Cool, so that's a good chunk of tests. What other cases? Let's see what we've got. I'm going to start writing stuff down. Here are cases that we have. Basic controls, basic video, or I shouldn't say basic, I just say video controls. Video without controls. Video with overlays. Now the overlays are transparent overlay with opacity, and then it's like transparent overlay with RGBA, and then we're going to say opaque overlay over entire video, opaque overlay over area with toggle, partially transparent overlays. City of Ass asks, would you mind Git if you have it? I've used Git before. I'm actually, I'm more comfortable, I think, these days with Mercurial, but I can use both, but I prefer Mercurial, and that's what we tend to use for Mozilla things. Partially covered video, is that possible? Yes, actually, that last case that we did, if we pull up what it looks like, because I think I'm running a server that's in my test directory. This is what it looks like. It's partially covering the video. And we're showing the overlay, the toggle right here because I'm in the browser. This is nightly, and it's got the old mechanism. And the old mechanism would put the toggle on everything, even if it's hidden, even if the video is behind everything. So instead of doing that, we decided, and see, this is glitching out pretty hard. If I now open this in the nightly, so it shows up here for that one, this one, but not this one and not this one. And on the ones where we can see it, we can do a hit test on it and it works. But not this one. Hit test fails. So that's the idea. Those are some pretty decent tests, I think. Now, what are some other cases that we need to worry about? There were some websites. Here are some other cases. Other pages where we're failing and we need to derive test cases. Okay, so let's check. There were a couple of video sites that we wanted to test. One was called Daily Motion, I think. Daily Motion, and we wanted to see if this one worked. Last week, someone asked us to check this. This is actually not a video, but oh, this is a video. Why isn't this working? So there's a question. Why is this not working? Let's take a look. This is a div. Inside a div, inside a div. Oh, wow. What the heck? Is this, okay. So that's not the video, actually. Where's the video? Where's the video hiding? Query for video. Let video equal document. Query selector all. There are no videos on this page. That's why. It's probably part of like an iframe or something. Oh, no, here it is. Video. What is it? Where? What? How come I couldn't query for it? Query selector all video. Oh. There it is. Oh, because if you just... Right. Because you don't get the return value right away. So there is a video here. Why aren't we seeing the toggle? So that's a question. Oh, shoot. I moved. Ah. Let's do this again. Let videos equals that. Oh, videos. So that's here. There's the video. And I want to know when the mouse is over it. And how come why? I want to know why we're not... first, I'm going to pause the video so I don't have to deal with that. Pause. So pause the video. Now, how come when I mouse over it, we're not actually seeing the video? I've got some logging going on here. Running mouse move check. I'm gonna shrink this window a little bit so we can see this on the side. Now, it doesn't appear as if the mouse move thing is, we're not running our mouse move checks. That's very interesting. Why not? Picture check. Oh, hold on a second. Now I'm back in the, it's because I'm not using nightly here. Hold up. I'm getting confused. I need to use this browser. This browser, not nightly. Not nightly. So if I'm using the one that's blue in the background, yell at me, because that's nightly, and I need to use my build. So now it's working. Yeah. Okay. So it works. It works. The new mechanism works on Daily Motion. Cool. That's great. So Daily Motion works. What about, let's choose not the front page, but let's go into just a normal page here. So yeah, we've got the picture-in-picture toggle appearing here. That works. Works from here.
Thank you, assembled guests. Black hole enthusiast.
Black hole. Yeah, that works. No problem. What else? There is, of course, YouTube. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but let's look at some variations here. Mozilla. Let's just pull up some Mozilla videos. So inside this little, yeah, that works. That works. Let's see. What other video sites are good? PeerTube, Vimeo, DLive. So Vimeo, I think we've got an example, a couple of examples of that working. Again, I was using hyperreality. There are a couple, like if I go to the Vimeo homepage, so it's not working here. What is this? What are we seeing here? Is this a video or not? Clip. And delete this node. Header video. Video wrapper. Video, video, video. So let's pause that. Pause. Okay. How come? Oh, there it is. We sort of see it if we mouse over to the side of it here. So we know enough to transition the toggle to its full opacity, but not enough to set hover on the underlying video. Let's take a look at pointer events again. Yeah, that's an idea. Pointer events. Pointer events, none. Aha. That's a good call there, whoever that was. Hattie. So let's get rid of pointer events. Right. Okay, so here I think we have found a hole in our implementation where pointer events none can really screw with us. But whenever we get rid of that, then it works properly. We can make that work. Cool. So that I think is a good sort of that might be a good thing to write some some test cases for, but we expect them to fail and then file a bug with those test cases so that we can get them fixed. Smurfd asks, how does it work when doing it manually? Do you need to, I think you already asked that. Didn't you note down the different sites and maybe the bug such and such and such note last week? Are you talking about last week's episode? I don't think so. I don't think I did not write them down. Someone recommended PeerTube. We can check that one out as well. PeerTube. Here, we'll put this back. Let's go to PeerTube. That's not a real site. PeerTube. Join PeerTube. How do I, where's a, watch videos on Framatube? Oh, here's a video. All right, this one. Be quiet. Okay, so that works. What's Framatube? I don't want to see like anything really questionable here, so I'm gonna, let's look for like, yeah, PeerTube YouTube video import demonstration. That sounds safe. Yeah, that appears to work. Cool. Other video sites. Any other video sites that you want to recommend? DLive. Video site. Never heard of it. Let's check it out. Live stream on the blockchain. Whoa. Let's see. Is there anyone playing a point-and-click adventure game? Ooh, this person's playing Mario. That's my jam.
You see, it's all good, but you don't need to do that, pal. It's all fine.
So this one works. Although clicking on it causes the video to pause.
Did I save it there? I did.
That works.
Rip indeed.
But it does cause the video to pause.
Oh, no. Don't go that way.
So I think there are still some mouse events going through. And notice how, like, if I exit it, I have to, like, re-enter. There were some times where it wasn't showing up. Yeah, if, like, I'm mouse moving right now, it doesn't appear until I exit and then re-enter. It's like, if I'm here, if I'm already inside the video.
Nah. You know we can't fall asleep to Sonic's music.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let me write that down. But that's not... there's like a bug here. Alright, bugs to file maybe. Bugs to file. Pointer events can really screw with us. Let's write some test cases first before filing. And then in this case, if the mouse, here, I'll pause you. If the mouse cursor is over top of the video at the time when we exit pip, the toggle doesn't come back unless we leave and return. Ocris is like, maybe the click registers also with the video as well as the toggle button. Yeah, I think that's the case. Click events, mouse events, click, like probably click, mouse up, etc. are going through when the toggle is clicked. Might need a way of canceling all mouse events if the toggle is clicked. What else? What else? What else? Other sites, other video sites that I should test that are family friendly. Oh, so trailers.apple.com. We had looked at that earlier. We were looking at this like Stuber trailer, and it was a pointer events issue. I think that was the issue again. It was pointer events. So if we look down at the video here, if we find the video element, man, where is it? Query selector video. Here it is. So if we look at this video, it's got pointer events none on it. If I remove that, then everything behaves as we'd expect. We can get the hover. So pointer events is like going to be its whole branch, but I think that's like a major one. The other one I did want to look at, maybe before the stream is done, is Twitch. So if you look at Twitch, there are some streamers that have things. Well, first of all, this one works. We have the little overlay going on here. I'm gonna mute. I hope I'm not breaking any terms of service by streaming someone else's stream. I'm just testing the browser, but I wanted to demonstrate something. Well, first of all, I can bring out the that click event went through. Like I clicked picture in picture, and then the advertisement overlay I think registered it. So like there's an entire advertisement here, and if I click on picture in picture, I also get the advertisement. So that's a problem. So this person's streaming. I'm gonna pause for a sec. This works. It's got that same bug of like enter, re-enter, exit. But what I wanted, there's like a pattern I've been seeing where people are streaming and they have this like Amazon thingy on the right side. This person doesn't have it. Where this person have it? It's like you can buy them gifts and this like Amazon thingy slides out. Let's look at a popular one because these people are probably making money. Nope, not there. I need like popular Twitch channels where people are trying to get Amazon gifts because I think that's what it's for. The first streamer had a browser overlay. Was that this one? This thing down here, right? Right, but it's not intersecting. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is interesting. We can bring this stuff out. I'm going to pause the video. Ah, all right. Well, I'm going to keep the video playing. Hopefully Twitch does not sue me. So I'm clicking on the area where the toggle is behind. And thankfully, I'm not causing picture in picture to enter because we don't want that to happen. If I click back here, I also, like this is interesting, picture in picture won't be entered unless I go to the very edge. I have to go to like the very edge and then I can get it, I think. Not even then. Okay, so let's see if we can understand why this one is broken. Well, how about now? It works whenever the video is smaller like that because I've got DevTools open. But when the video is big like this, oh, it also works there. So it seems pretty touchy. And now it doesn't work. So it's very touchy. All right. So let's get DevTools to float out. I'm going to inspect this video. I'm gonna like put perma hover on the video. Is that gonna satisfy it in terms of? Okay, got hover now. It's tricky because like, all right, that's what I wanted. So where even is? So all that stuff, body, root. Okay, here's Twitch Rivals. So there's like an iframe that's overlapping the whole thing. And the iframe that's interesting. So if the iframe, I wonder if this is another pointer events thing. Like if I go to the iframe or any of these things and I look for pointer events, what we're gonna get. Iframe, pointer events auto, extension frame, extension overlay, pointer events none. Bet that's it. So if I get rid of that, do I pass the hit test? Yes, I do. Okay. But, oh, and it does work there as well. Which I wouldn't have expected. I don't want it to work there. What's going on? So I've got this overlay on top. Such a complicated structure. So where's the video? The video's here. There's some UI on top. And originally the container said pointer events none. So all mouse events would go through the extension container. And that was preventing player video. Is there anything here that's pointer eventsy related? Player video. Okay, let's pause this for a sec. I think someone was telling me about this add-on that allows you to build test case reducers. Let's see what we have here. Test case reducer helps with reducing markup in CSS for the purposes of generating test cases. Let's see if we can reduce a test case here. Test case reducer. Reduce. Okay, so I have a test case reducer here. Test case reduced. Include scripts. It's not really working. Probably because the video isn't like what it expects. It's like there's probably a bunch of script going on, which is making this harder. But this does feel kind of like a pointer eventsy problem. Pointer events, like that works. And then as soon as I play the video and these overlays come up, it doesn't work. because there's pointer events none over top. So let's, so there's a transparency over top with pointer events none, and then there are things inside it with pointer events auto. That's what I saw. So maybe let's add another case here where full opacity, not full opacity, we're gonna transparent, zero opacity, or transparent background. And this is a full overlay with a transparent background, and I'm also going to say that has no pointer events. No pointer events. Pointer events none. So it's transparent background, no pointer events is what I'll call it, and this should work. Oh, I'm going to set these back to false. And this should be true. Let's shut down the browser. That works. Pointer events none. Now what if there was something inside it with pointer events true? Div class equal toggle overlay pointer events auto. Button toggle overlay. I'm gonna say it's partial opacity. Button I'm a button. And then pointer events, we're going to say pointer events auto. Right, that timed out because I moved the mouse. You're not supposed to move the mouse during these types of tests. That's broken. Why is that broken? Why isn't that working? It's because of this new test case I added somehow. Yeah, something's wrong with it. No pointer events. Video transparent background. No pointer events. Transparent background. Is that ID correct? Looks like it's correct. I thought I copied and pasted it. That's why I got the typo. Oop, true video. Yeah, what's the deal? Why would that cause a problem? Maybe there's a limit to how many videos I can have on the page at one time. No, I guess not. It's just so it likes that. Let's put a button over top. Let's put our button toggle overlay width right top 50%. Let's look at that, what that looks like. I say 50% minus calc 50% minus, or let's make it 25%. Just want something that's okay. And now let's run. I actually want the button over here. I want the button over top. Instead of setting a width, I'm gonna say min width 25px or 50px, and then I'm also going to say top go down 50%. Say that the button height is 50px, no, 100px. Top calc minus 25 pixels. Let's just hard code it. So that works. And notice that the button doesn't get clicked. If I click on the picture-in-picture region. Okay. Don't you need subscription to want? Oh, people want to. Oh, great. DLive. Toggle Netflix. Don't you need subscription to watch any videos on Netflix? Yeah, I don't have Netflix, my account on this machine, I'm afraid. I do have an account, but not on this machine. This is a this is a partially transparent. This is a fully transparent overlay over a region covering overlay using opacity, using a transparent background. I'm a button overlapping the toggle, right? I do that with partial opacity, I'm going to say full opacity. And video transparent background. I'm going to rename this video partial transparent button. I'm going to call this one video opaque button. I'm going to say opaque button false. I don't think we fully understand, like I've fully captured the Twitch problem though. I really wish I could like reduce the test case. Maybe let's go back and take a look. Let's go back. We've got 23 minutes. Let's go back to our Twitch streamer here. Does this person have an overlay? There's an advertisement. Blah 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 blah. Just gonna I don't want to see this advertisement. Okay, so here's a Twitch streamer. They've got some overlays. How do I? So there's an overlay thing up there. And as soon as it appears, like, there's like this region on the right where we stop hit testing properly. And it's like, it's wherever this thing is, whatever that is, that detects this free loot. There's another section over here where it goes away. Okay, let's see if we can understand what these regions are. What is this thing? This is an iframe. The iframe is also within another iframe. And were I to delete the inner iframe, what happens? Or instead of deleting it, I'll just make it invisible. Display none. Then the bug goes away. If I put it back, then the bug reappears. So the visibility of this iframe is what matters. So we have an iframe, and then inside the iframe we have, I'm just going to cover this guy's face up. We have, oh man, go collapse, collapse, collapse. We have a div, we have the body, we have the HTML node. The HTML node looks like it's okay. Body, nothing special there. Some dimensions. Where was our pointer events thing? We saw it. User watcher. So like if I make user watcher display none. Oh. The problem's still there if user watchers display none. What if roots display none? Oh, yeah. Nope. Display none. Problem still there. All right. What about this body? Okay. And then what about this HTML node? Aha! What's going on here? We have like some kind of... How does this work? This HTML node. If I display none the HTML node, then it's like, oh, the background color of an iframe becomes transparent. Okay. If I make it red, obviously that the picture-in-picture node's not going to show up. Okay. Iframe. So we have an, let's write this out. We have an iframe. Iframe over top of the toggle. Iframe has a document where the body has a transparent background. What else? Or not the body, the or is it the body? Yeah, it's the body, and then that itself is inside of an iframe, which has pointer events auto on the iframe. Iframe B, A and B. Iframe A has pointer events auto, and then we're inside this wrapper, which is inside this div, which is inside this div, which is inside, hang on, this div, which is inside this div, which is inside this div. Oh, and this div has pointer events none on it. Distant ancestor has pointer events none. All right. So we have an outer div here, but it's actually quite, yeah, we have this outer div. What are the dimensions of this div? It's like got 0 height. Because these are positioned absolutely. Height 1000 pixels. Okay. That doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay. So we have a div with pointer events none. If I get rid of that pointer events none, this problem goes away, but we don't see the overlays anymore. Okay. So the outer one needs to have pointer events none, and then deep within we have an iframe that has a pointer events auto on it, and then iframe A has an iframe B where B has a transparent background. Now let's see if we can get rid of iframe B. Let's simplify this even more and get rid of iframe B. Display none. Oh, no, that fixes it. No, it doesn't. Good. Okay. Get iframe B. And we're going to make iframe A's body have background transparent. Auto. Background color red. We're going to make it transparent. We're going to get rid of this iframe. Alright, I guess just display none, it's fine. So, I need that inner frame, it seems, to reproduce the bug. Although there's like maybe another weird floaty element here. Like if I display none it, then like I don't get it here, but I get it over here. Like there's a weird region up here that I can't. Okay. So we have a div. Let's go back. We have a distant ancestor with pointer events none. Iframe has pointer events auto. Iframe A and B are over top of the toggle. Iframe B has document whose body has a transparent background, and that is preventing the hover from occurring. Iframe inception. Correct. Ocris. All right, let's pause this. Let's see if we can kind of create something similar, some monstrosity. How do I nest? Can I like do source doc? What is it? Source doc. Using Mozilla iframe source doc. Okay. I might just have to construct some crappy cases here. I might want to separate it out into its own file though. So let's save this. Let's maybe clean up the patches, and then what time is it? 2:19. Clean up the patches a little bit, see if we can produce this final test case and have it fail. Async contest. Yeah, we're gonna revert this change. Don't need that. Need that, need that, need that. Don't need that dump statement. There's probably a bunch of dump statements we can get rid of now. Picture in picture child. I'm just gonna get rid of all these dumps. So that all looks useful for the test patch. I'm just going to amend. Actually, I'm going to separate the stuff from modules. Nah, I'll just put it all together. Okay, amend. Let us do that new test. Whew. Okay, so new test file. We're going to call it test transparent iframe. Transparent nested iframes.html. And the way it's going to work is transparent nested iframes. I don't think we need any of these. I'm just going to take the structure. We are going to have to make it so that, like, we can wait. We have to wait for all of the iframes to load. So we're going to have to modify the test function a little bit. Okay, so let's get rid of all that. So how does it work? Like, there was a video underneath all of that stuff on Twitch, right? And so we'll start with that. There's like an iframe. It had pointer events, none on the container. I actually want to go back to Twitch for a second. I have to look at the structure again. I need to like snapshot that structure. Okay. Blah blah blah. Advertisement. So there's a video player. Okay. So we have our video here. And the video, what's the relationship to the overlay thing? Player video, and then there's the UI. Player video. What's so weird is that the player video is of like 0 height, but the stuff inside it definitely does have eyes exploding out because it's positioned absolutely. So wacky. What are you doing, Twitch? So it's a sibling of this other node, player UI. Can I just like copy this? Copy this subtree. This might be a violation of terms of service. I'm not sure. But there's a video, and then a sibling of that video. So the video's inside a container. Container. I'm going to call it root, and then video container, video. Then there's like controls container, and then all sorts of stuff. Container, 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 extension container. Which one of these containers? Okay, so this controls container, player UI, controls container, 2 container container, and this container, and then one more container. Extension container, pointer events none. And inside that, you've got container, 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 container times 3, and then inside there you have your iframe A, pointer events auto, and then inside the body iframe B with body background transparent. Now a lot of that might be able, we might be able to cull a lot of that, but let's see if we can quickly hack together a thing that kind of looks like this. The iframes are going to be the biggest pain, but whoops. So we have a container. Let's call this root. Root. And then we're going to put the video inside the root, inside its own like div class video container. And then we have a controls container, div class equals controls. And then there's like container, container, container. I'm just going to do one for now, and hope we don't need one. I'm just, and I'm going to put pointer events none. Dot controls dot container pointer events none, and then container. Then we have an iframe. Source equals test transparent nested iframes. Subframe 1. And that's it. And then inside a file called test transparent nested iframe subframe 1, we're going to put it's inside it. We're going to put another iframe A has, what was it? Iframe pointer events auto, and then iframe B has background transparent. Body background color iframe 1. Wait, no, hold on. We're still inside iframe A. Iframe A loads iframe B. Well, let's see if we can get away with just one iframe. Let's see what this looks like. Transparent nested iframes. What a joke of a structure. Color red. Okay, good. It's there. So now let's move it. Let's make it so that root is of position relative, and then we're going to say display inline block, and then I'm going to say video container and controls. We're going to say UR position absolute. Let's see what that looks like. Yep. And then width 100%, height 100%, iframe width 100%. Just want to expand, yo. That's not right. That's not correct. Border 1px solid green. Where's the edge of this thing? Yeah, that's right. So how come iframe is inside something called container? Controls, position absolute. It's DevTools time. What is going on? Container. Controls is really small. Iframe width. If I make this width like 100%, width 150 pixels. Okay, blue browser. Did you know that? Yeah, I am in the blue browser. Correct. But I'm just trying to set up the. The document, so I don't need the test browser just yet. And can't I have the frame inline? Yeah, I could put the code inline using source doc or a data URI, but for now, let's just do it this way. How do I make the iframe expand? Is it like iframe display flex? Is that it? No. I need to grow. No. And maybe have the sub item flex 1. No, that's not right. Small. Why are you so small? Position absolute. Width. Oh, wait a second. Is this rule just garbage? Invalid property value. Aha! I have a missing. Well, that didn't help as much. Controls. Container. It's also small. Video container is so small. Why are you so small? Position absolute. Trying to remember how all this stuff works. Relative. No, that's not it. Video. Okay, so we have root. Position relative. Inside that we have the video container. And inside that's the video. The video container has a height of 100% and a width of 100%. How does the other one work. Display inline block on the video. Display block on the video. And then what do? I put display inline block on the container. Still nothing. And then I gave it a top and a left of 0 and 0. That's not enough. Okay, so let's go back to basics. Video and controls. Let's forget about the iframe. Let's just make controls make me the height of the video. Now over here, the way that works is the overlay is actually earlier in the markup. I don't think that'll have anything to do with it, but let's just see. I'm guessing a little bit. Yeah. Trying to remember how this works. Position relative here. Position absolute here. Height and width 100%. Forget about the iframe. Forget about pointer events. We're talking about basics here. This is what I mean when I say sometimes I can get sidelined by something silly. Because this is something I should know how to do. Controls. Let's forget about video container. So we just have that and that. Controls. Root is relative. Can I make the video position absolute? Absolute, I said. Absolute. Top 0, left 0, width 100%, height 100%. That's the video. It's gone. Okay, well, let's try something else. I'm gonna comment all of this out. Or yeah, let's put all this back and then comment the whole block out and then copy over what I have in the original test from before, because I think that does the job. And then we will subtract. We'll subtract things. Okay, so let's get rid of all this, but we'll keep style. And we'll get rid of all of these things that don't have to do with layout for us. Okay. And now, get rid of that. Right. So what was the difference? Display inline block, position with color, white, background color, red. So that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Why was that so hard? So now let's change the IDs a little bit here. We're gonna go back to this block, comment this out, and say, instead of say video container and controls. Oh, no, I don't want that. Container, I want this to be root. And then controls? Because like the DOM hierarchy is a little bit different. Before we had a container with 2 children underneath. Now we have a container which has some containers which have some containers. Or container of things. Like here's a container that has a container that has our video. So what I might be able to do then is pretend like this is the overlay. Oh yeah, and before I did have the, let's just do this for a sec. Let's pretend this is the overlay. So class controls is overlay. I'm just gonna put the overlay class on it. Let's say overlay. Just to put us back to where we were, right? Overlay, yeah. And then let's get rid of everything inside it. And then video container, we weren't doing anything really special with it. And then the outer container, we made it these 2 things. So the outer container in this case is root, position relative, and inline block. So what does that give us? Background color red. Correct, that's what we wanted. Okay, now let's put in the iframe. What? Iframe opacity 0 for now. Where's the video? Where's the video? Where's the video? Oh. Did we screw up some of our markup here? Where's the video? Oh, can I not? I think that might have been it. Yeah. Okay, and then iframe, we're not going to have the opacity 0. Okay, good. Color blue. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So now the iframe, we're going to make the iframe width 100%. We're going to make the height 100%. Background color green. How come the height of the iframe? What's the container's height? Maybe the container also needs to be at 100 and 100. Yeah, there we go. And we'll get rid of this string. Blah blah blah. We have ourselves an iframe. Now this iframe, this subframe, we can get rid of this. We're going to call this controls instead of overlay. Cool. Instead of background color red, we're going to make it transparent. And then we can get rid of this background color on the controls. Okay, so that is something I want to test now in the actual browser. And then I'm going to call it because I have a meeting to run to after this. Hooray! We've reproduced the test case. It is not working. Yay! So we have a failing test case here, where the toggle is not showing up. Where's the sound effect? This is exactly what we wanted. Give me that air horn. Okay, that's good. So I can work with that, and I can try and find a way of addressing this test case, or at least filing a new bug to address this test case. Okay, well, I'm going to call it there. Thank you so much for watching episode 173 of The Joy of Coding. I hope that was interesting. Dove deep. Please don't sue me, Amazon or Twitch. When I was looking at the streams, I was trying to cut the audio, and I was really just doing it from a technical perspective because I'm trying to make people's experience viewing videos on your site better. So don't send your lawyers after me. And with that, I'm going to call it... do let me know what you thought of the stream. There's a form here on the agenda. Fill it out. Like and subscribe and follow and subscribe and like. And I'll see you next week with episode 174. And with that, take care. Hold on a second. Transition. Take care. Bye-bye. See ya.